What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu, Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. As always, bringing incredible guests from all over the world. So sit back, relax, and tune in. My next guest is a believe it, pursue it, confident coach. Mindset matters. Be your best self. Anything is possible. Please welcome Kate Glendon. Kate, love it so much.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So you're like that whole intro is totally what we're all about.
Yeah, that's how I'm set up as a coach and how my life has been designed to be after becoming a coach and realizing that's how I want to live. I don't want to live, kind of in the middle or lukewarm. I want to be all in. And I think, I wasn't. I know I wasn't. You follow other standards, and I was just like, I need to own my life and be my own CEO. So, along with my business, I'm going to do it, in reality
Yeah,
every day.
I love it. We want to live hot and spicy.
Yes, exactly.
So you weren't always a coach, though, right?
No, I wasn't. I spent many years in the public health field and teaching. So getting kind of a great background on how behaviors work and habits and like what to do to improve people's health. And we can only do so much because you have beliefs and thoughts and social media that, kind of controls what you do.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, this is, I can't change your habits if I can't get inside your mind.
Right.
So I really needed to take a step back and like, what am I doing? Like, I could use this, and if I could use this, so many people could. And just, finding the positive and living abundantly. And it's just little things like, okay, great. I didn't get 6 inches of snow today. That's awesome. I didn't have to stop.
I like that. That's awesome. So how do you think being in public health helped set you up for being this kind of coach to help people make a healthy, positive changes in their life?
I think because through that field and through my education, I've learned a lot about the theory of change and people becoming and where they are at their life. Like, sometimes we think about changing, like we would love to, get more steps in, but we don't have a watch. And maybe the next step is like, we're going to get something to measure our steps. And then we're actually going to do steps and put the plan into action. But, there's always, you get to your goal and then sometimes you fall off. You see that especially, with people with dieting. But why? Like, what happens there? Let's talk about like why you got to your goal, right?
Yeah.
And what happened? Like, what set you back, and so that you can move forward. Because sometimes we get stuck in our own thoughts, or we get off track, work, life, whatever it may be. And so, how do we revert your train to get on the track? And I think so many people just stop because they don't know how to do that, or they think that they failed because by whatever label or limitation that they believe in, they can't get past. I think that's how I've learned to help, especially when we're, dealing with decreasing, chronic diseases and all of that kind of stuff has really helped to learn and to prepare and build capacity in people. So important. And that's kind of where I start with my clients. Like, where are you at? And let's talk about that. And where do you want to go?
Yeah.
I always like to make that future memory. Like, what would your best life look like joyfully? Like, what could it be? Anything in the world. And how does that feel?
How long have you been a coach for?
Over about a year now.
Oh, okay.
So I specialized in weight loss in the beginning, and now moving on to helping more career-driven women to prevent burnout and to live just more, focus at work and not bring at home, and then have, kind of that balanced lifestyle so that they have their job, but it's not also impacting their family, vice versa. So they're not neglecting themselves or so focused at, at whatever they're doing that they have that mom guilt or have that guilt moving forward. And so that can all be from a lot of things, stems from that. And so from there, we build on self-confidence, we build on healthy habits, we build on reframing to positive thoughts, and just developing goals and how do we get there?
Yeah.
so that we're living intentionally every day by design and not just like going through the motions.
Yeah, sure. So who would be like your ideal client? I know you mentioned women and professional women that may be experiencing burnout, but can we drill down into that a little bit deeper? So who would be like an ideal client for you? What would they want to accomplish?
So some of the clients that I work with right now is they're ready for their next kind of move in their career and they don't know how to do it.
Yes.
So they're stuck in that aspect. So I work with women like that. I also work with new 20 to 30-year-old women
Okay.
who hate their job and they don't know what to do and they're stuck and we get to move them forward
Sure.
as well. So, we have this like kind of, or just being stuck in a negative frame
Yeah.
mind, and they,
Yeah.
might be getting married, or they might, be in a situation and they don't have any boundaries. They
Yeah.
don't know how to speak up for themselves. They have lost their power. So that's what I do is I bring that out and have them develop that so that they have a voice in
Sure.
society again in their life, and
That's
that the
important.
way that they're living isn't because someone told them to.
Yeah, no, that's very important. I love that because I think that as much as we talk about empowerment between women, there's still is, and so I'm a coach for podcasting, as a female podcaster, I'm a founding partner of the Female Podcasters Network. And some of my clients, even though they might be doing very well with their podcasts, they still haven't owned that public figure persona because it's scary, right? And I think that women, no matter what level they're at, there's still that something that holds them back to actually truly stepping into their voice, stepping into their purpose, and fully owning that 100%. So I think that's very important that you do that kind of work.
And I think it comes from the fact that I had to do that for myself.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
so I know exactly how that feels. And the fact where I didn't say what I wanted to say, or if I did, I was like, did I accept that person? Is this person mad at me now? Because people weren't used to it. So it was just kind of getting comfortable with, oh, I have a voice and,
Yeah.
it's coming out. That's like so great. But now I have to deal with like, how do I deal with the rest? And then I got through that. And, by just kind of letting it settle and people, were excited to hear me. And,
Sure.
so you have to, so I really get that. Like it can be hard to own where you are because sometimes people don't like you and don't know how to handle all the power that you do hold when you're ready to show it.
Sure. No, I completely understand that. So do you have a success story that you could share with us of one of your clients that you've worked with?
Yes. So one of my clients, she was looking to move down south and she, you know, wasn't sure what she was going to do. She was giving up a job up here to move down there, but she had been working on a website and, developing blogs and, offering stories and wanted to kind of create this safe space for people. And she had it all laid out, written out. She was going to write a book, but she wouldn't release it. She
Oh,
wouldn't move
wow.
forward with it. And so, I was like, you have everything. Like it's all there. Like let's talk about like how do we get it from your notes, like to the book, to readers, to, even on a Facebook page to start
Yeah.
small. So we, it goes beyond just like, okay, you have all this written. Why haven't you published it? To,
Yeah.
you know, tell me about some other like times in your life where you created something and were free to release it, or you're so afraid of what people may say, but why? Like, did something happen when you did something, or was a
Right.
comment said to you when you were little that you're still holding on to? And let's let go of that. And I always like to do what I call a brain dump or fear journaling. It's just like get everything out of your head on paper.
Yeah.
So you have it, you can look at it and then cross out what is not like factual. That's just a thought or a worry, because that's going to create your results. So if you have all these words, everything, isn't positive and moving you forward, your actions are going to result in you just feeling kind of stuck and blah.
Yeah.
So that does help people realize to trigger it and like, what would it look like with that, story out there, people buying your book, like how does that make you feel and what would change because of that? And so that, really inspires some of them to start taking the action they need to do it.
It's typically something that they're fearful of, right? I mean, in that situation, I would
Yeah.
assume if she's got it all put together, but she hasn't moved forward to actually publishing it, there obviously something that was holding her back that she was scared of.
Yeah. It was, stories that have been told to her and put
Oh,
downs and, what if it's not good enough? And what if people talk about me? I mean, very, kind of the labels or limitations that we
mhm.
think that other people will think about us and if they're
Yeah,
going to judge us. And I mean, we're all guilty of that and feeling that way, but we have to either move past that or not. Like I
yeah.
had to get comfortable with, being a new coach and owning it and staying out there no matter what people were going to say. And that was hard because there are people that comment and there's people that are your cheerleaders. That's why you pick your tribe.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So what does the process look like for someone that wants to work with you? They say, "Hey, Kate, I heard you on Label Free Podcast. I really love what you're doing for women. And I think that I might be a good fit to work with you. I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z." So what does your process look like?
So my process is that I always have a complimentary free session for
Okay.
all my potential clients. And they find that by going on my website, glendoncoaching.com. And so they would, go on to book on the calendar link and we
Sure.
would talk about kind of like their wheel of life and what area they would like to work on. And from there, we'll decide what kind of where we want to go, what they need. And we have packages of 4, 6,
Okay.
8, and 12. And so what I suggest is, you can always, if you're very nervous for a life coach or someone that doesn't, know or wants to build trust, we could start small and then move up, but we usually want to have packages longer so we can see the change. And then they have access to me throughout the week for, Vox or email. You automatically get a 5 days of health newsletter,
Good.
webinars that are coming up, like reframing your negative thoughts. That will be on March 23rd that they can sign up on by just subscribing to my newsletter on my website or following me on LinkedIn at KG_coaching.
Okay.
Not LinkedIn, I'm sorry, Instagram. So yes, that's what they would do.
Love it.
And it's a great process. And so, you can see for yourself if you're a good fit and you like it, and then we can get you scheduled into weekly sessions.
No, I love it. So you don't like kind of box them into something because I know other coaches they require like 3 months, 6 months, and I think that's a lot to ask of someone. That would probably be dealing with something, because as a coach, I'm sure when you're working with your clients, there's different things that come up, and you have to kind of like pivot sometimes to deal with the different things that come up to help them get to their end goal.
Right. And you have to earn their trust.
Yeah.
And, to ask someone to sign up for you for half a year and they don't know really much about you is that like a huge ask. And, you want to build on that relationship and see how it goes. And they, give them a chance to let them get comfortable and tell you how they feel so that they can continue that process with you.
Sure, sure, sure. So do you find that working with, I know that you were big into like health and being healthy with your clients at first, but even if you've pivoted a little bit and you're focusing more on them overcoming obstacles, do you find that that health piece comes into play regardless sometimes?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So we still will talk about that. We will still talk about movement and exercise because that's all related to how you feel, mood, your stress levels, and how what you eat can affect certain things. And that always comes out in the stories with people a lot too.
yeah.
But and if people want direct weight loss, that's fine. I have, years of experience that of people losing over 20 pounds in 6 to 6 months.
Oh, wow.
That's also an option. So um, we work through the wheel of life talking about what areas they want to focus on with me. I'm not going to pick it for you because I
Sure.
don't, you have to do that for yourself. And sometimes we hit along a couple of them because they're all interrelated.
Yeah. I find that, I was a life coach before, but I find that if someone's like trying to accomplish something and if their health is not in check, it's like all your pillars have to be balanced in your life to really kind of get to where you want to be. And it's every day is a balancing act, right? So some days you got to focus more on your finances, other days it's your family, other days it's like relationship, other days it's your health. But I think that the goal is to always to keep everything balanced so that you can always continue to elevate in your life, right? And I think health is a big
Hmm.
piece, a big part of that. If your health is failing, how do you expect to go release a book? Because that takes a lot of work. How are you going to be successful
Yeah.
if you're not healthy?
So a lot of that is there, but sometimes people don't want to hear that, right?
No, I'm
They
sure.
so they're not going to market, so it's we'll talk about it in a different way than we would talk about a client whose truly goal is their, physical fitness. Um, but we will talk about that in their journey because we have to. It's just completes you.
Yeah, for sure. Where can people find you, connect with you, and learn more about how to work with you?
So they can go to Instagram, KG_coaching. I do have Glendon Coaching on Facebook and my website. So my website is Glendon Coaching. So you can email directly through there. And I check that. And once I find you, send me a message that you heard me on this podcast, and I'll get make sure that you're added to our group that we have on Facebook for people who are looking to live a more vibrant lifestyle. So you'll hear from me right away.
Excellent. I love that. Vibrant lifestyle. Yes. You guys, we'll put all those links in the show notes. So don't hesitate to go reach out to Kate if you align with what she shared today and you feel you'd be a good fit. If you're looking for a coach like her to help you get through any hurdles that are holding you back, go click the link or make sure to go follow her on Instagram and go check out her website. If anything, book the consultation call and, see if it's a good fit. Kate, this is the part of the show where I like to ask for last words of wisdom or advice. What would you like to leave with us today?
Um, well, my number one is anything is possible, but you've already shared that. But, my one is, if it doesn't matter in a year, why worry about it?
Yeah, oh, that's a good one. I love that. Oh my gosh. Well,
Right?
yeah, if it doesn't matter in a year, why worry about it? Yeah, that's good. I think that about my
Go
clothes
ahead.
sometimes. If I haven't worn it in a year, then I should just let it go.
Exactly. Let it go. Right? If you wouldn't invite them over to your house for coffee, let that friend go. Let that family
Yeah.
member go.
That's so true. Well, thank you so much for what you do. I love my coaches. You guys do such great work. And I think the more people that kind of invest in themselves with coaches like yourself, they are doing themselves a huge service and allowing them to elevate higher in life. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. To live your best life, you must live label free. As always, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.